Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. We'll be covering the Missings Spotlight that is part of a series I'll be continuing forward with. This one is Humanitarian's Legacy, and the s- gentleman's name is Majd Kamalmaz, and we will be covering his situation from beginning to end. And with that said, introduce here's photos of Majd Kamalmaz. He was uh, he had he had gone missing in Mezzeh, Syria. This was dated back in February 15th, 2017, which as of the date of this stream is 3,442 days ago. Now the missing persons poster, which is still up visible on the internet for the from the FBI website for kidnapped and missing persons. To give you a brief overview, Majd was born on January 6, 1958. He was born in Syria. He has gray hair, brown eyes, and stands 5'8" and some more details will be forthcoming. But he does have a dual citizenship with the United States and Syria, and he speaks English and Arabic are implied by his life and work. Specific fluency in additional languages is not explicitly detailed in the source material, but he has worked in US, Indonesia, and the Balkans. Now, the FBI poster for Majd Kamalmaz remains active because his case has transitioned into an open criminal investigation aimed at achieving legal accountability, securing the return of his remains, and gathering actionable evidence against his captors. In addition, keeping the FBI tip information is still highly relevant, as the Syrian Emergency Task Force has noted the legal milestones achieved in this case could potentially help in pursuing criminal charges against those responsible for his detention and death, making an ongoing information gathering still valuable for historical and legal purposes. Some more background. Majd Kamalmaz was a dedicated American psychotherapist and humanitarian who spent his career aiding victims of trauma and natural disasters. Born in Syria, he immigrated to the United States as a child and became a dual citizen. His work took him across the globe, providing counseling to survivors of events like Hurricane Katrina, the Indonesian tsunami, and the Bosnian genocide. In 2017, he traveled to Damascus to visit family and explore the possibility of opening a clinic to treat Syrian traumatized by the ongoing civil war, but he was intercepted by government forces and held in captivity where he ultimately passed. Summary of his disappearance is in February 2017, Majd traveled to Damascus, Syria to pay his respects to an elderly family member following a passing in the family. While there, he hoped to fulfill a humanitarian mission by establishing a center to provide mental health support to refugees and those impacted by the Syrian civil war. On February 15, 2017, just one day after arriving, he was stopped at a Syrian government checkpoint in the Damascus suburb of Mezzeh. Despite entering the country with his U.S. passport and having no clear reason for detention, he was forcibly taken by regime forces. He was never seen or heard from again by his family. Through my research, I found the following updates. For over 7 years, Majd's family, along with the advocacy group like the Syrian Emergency Task Force, SCTF, campaigned tirelessly for his release. In May of 2024, national security officials finally confirmed to his family that highly credible classified information indicated Majd had passed in Syrian regime captivity. In July of 2024, his family and legal representatives filed a civil lawsuit against the Assad regime, seeking damages for his unlawful detention, torture, and wrongful passing. A U.S. federal court subsequently entered a default judgment against the regime, holding them accountable for the crimes committed against him. And I note here that the case has transitioned from an active recovery effort to a pursuit of justice and legal accountability, following the 2024 confirmation of his passing. The reason this case matters: Majd Kamalmaz traveled to a region of conflict with a mission of healing. His forced disappearance and subsequent death in custody represent a profound human rights violation. This report serves as a testament to his life, a record of the facts surrounding his detainment, and a call for continued accountability for those responsible for his suffering. Although a U.S. federal court issued a $134.29 million default judgment against the Syrian regime for the wrongful passing of Dr. Majd Kamalmaz, the pursuit of justice is far from over. Several investigative and humanitarian mandates continue to drive the efforts of his family and advocacy organizations, such as the Syrian Emergency Task Force, to keep his story active and in the public eye, which is also what I'm doing by continuing this series. Bullet forms, laying the foundation for criminal prosecution. While the civil lawsuit successfully established state liability, advocacy groups like the SCTF are actively urging the U.S. government to move beyond civil judgments by opening formal criminal prosecutions against the specific perpetrators responsible for his detention, torture, and passing. The pursuit of remains. The Syrian regime has not accounted for Dr. Kamalmaz's body. His family and national security entities continue to seek precise information regarding the location of his remains, as securing them is essential for bringing him home to the United States. Identifying perpetrators. Beyond holding the state apparatus accountable, investigators seek to identify the individual checkpoint guards, prison commanders, and interrogators who were directly involved in his February 2017 abduction in Damascus and his subsequent time in regime custody. Maintaining investigative leverage. Keeping the case high profile serves as a strategic tool for investigators. Public awareness and pressure can provide the necessary leverage to secure interviews with defectors, former regime officials, or other international witnesses who may hold critical information regarding Dr. Kamalmaz and other detainees. I offer you to submit a tip to your local FBI office or any American embassy or consulate. Now, this came out of the field office in Washington, D.C. There's also a link that will be available in my description regarding your ability to submit an anonymous tip if you'd like online. Additionally, we have official missing person resources, national and international reporting and databases. So I provided you with phone numbers and names of a variety of national, international reporting sources and databases that contain information. As far as emergency and reporting contacts, as always, if you are in immediate danger, dial 911 here in the United States. We have phone numbers for the federal U.S. cases, missing children, and U.S. citizens abroad. And as I always try to remind everybody, if you share, you could bring someone home. So if you're aware of something, please alert your local law enforcement, your closest American embassy or consulate. Any law enforcement and FBI especially will follow up on these tips. I provided you with several links and several phone numbers. I do want you to be cognizant as I'm going forward with the series. You're going to see a variety of missing persons. It's important to keep in mind that if that were to happen to anyone in your family, you would want everyone involved also to stay focused and provide information as necessary, if at all possible. Every little tip helps. So please keep that in mind. And I do again want to thank you all for joining me. Your views, comments, and conversations are always appreciated. Please subscribe. It is free and it helps me to grow my channel. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next Missing Spotlight series